Hey CrossFit Relentless athletes, welcome to another Be Relentless vlog. Let's jump into the programming. The skill practice for today is going to be toes to bar, right? And it's going to be a little bit of a different way to leverage bands for toes to bar specifically. We understand that toes to bar is something to where for a lot of people, right, we can actually make contact with the bar with our toes if we have an extra swing, right? To where if we finally get our torso, the rest of our body, our chest in line directly underneath the bar, and then close the angle with our feet. And sometimes we can even go ahead and create and get one toes to bar the correct way, right? Which is where about 50% of our body is behind the bar and then 50% of our body is in front of the bar as we go through the correct cadence. But a lot of it isn't really we don't have a hard time on creating that tension through the lat, but it's actually going ahead and creating the correct amount of tension and cadence with getting back into the arch position, right? Going back and forth through a proper kipping swing, right? Where we have the arch and then the hollow, right? We close, right? It's a little weird, arch, right? The hollow, and then go into the arch where we're forward of the bar, right? Behind the bar. And all of a sudden what we do is you do toes bar, we're all the way behind the bar, and then we lose and we lack the capability of finding the amount of tension and the explosive, the elasticity of either our lat or a pec or anything that's really involved, the anterior and posterior chain, to go ahead and shoot us back into the correct arch to be able to then correct the requisite amount of tension to go ahead and get back into the correct hollow position, right? It all feeds into each other. So it's going to be an interesting drill. For some of us, it might not mean that we can get our first toes to bar, but conceptually it should start making certain things click, which I'm very excited about. It should go ahead and give you a good feeling of what the cadence should be like. And for those of you that we can even use this for high knee raises or even straight leg raises as well. So I'm excited about this. The workout, guys, is going to be every 5 minutes for 30 minutes, right? Those 6 work intervals. It's going to be a 200-meter run, 15 toes to bar, and then it's going to be 20 single arm dumbbell overhead lunges, right? So it's going to be, for this time, I understand last time we did one round was one hand, the other round was the opposite. We're going to go 10 and 10. Of course, we're dealing with a unilateral movement in terms of the lunging and the stability through the shoulder, holding the dumbbell overhead. Whenever there is unilateral movement and you're forced to go back and forth in terms of alternating, at some point, I would always defer with starting with your weak arm first. So your intention of the workout, other than executing on some of maybe the new neurological skill that you had with the banded toes to bar drill, is to make sure you're conscious about making sure that you're using your weak side, your weak arm first. So as you get more and more fatigued, you keep on going to your strong arm on the last half of it, right? Total amount of work completed will be the same, but at least neurologically, maybe emotionally, I know we joke around with it, that's a real thing, right? At least you'll be at a higher state of fatigue with your strong arm rather than with a weak arm, which can sometimes just be harder. So see if you can stay mentally focused, conscious to make sure you're keeping that decision of, okay, cool, I'm starting, right? The single arm dumbbell lunges, I'm starting with my weak arm, right? For those of you that are a little politically correct and say, I don't have a weak arm, right? Then let's go ahead and go a little heavier of a dumbbell, and then let's see if you have a weak arm or not. So other than that, guys, RX Plus is just a heavier dumbbell, 70 pounds for guys, 45 pounds for ladies. For those of you that have toes to bar, right, or that the single arm dumbbell lunges are not really a problem, I want you to try to scale up. Right? Scale up on the dumbbell. If there's too big of a gap between jumping from certain weights from the dumbbell, find an intermediate weight, which most of you can, in a kettlebell, right? And go ahead and challenge yourself there. Try to get to that heavier weight, challenge that stability issue. For those of you that have a pretty easy time with 45s and 30s. Other than that, guys, remember, be relentless. Everything that you do, it's great to be back in the gym. Amy and I are super excited, able to do a ton of brainstorming while we were on vacation, and just looking forward to keep on implementing items that we've talked about, the newsletters, and then of course just trying to create just even a better experience for you guys as athletes in the gym. Guys, so remember, as I said, be relentless in everything that you do. And then I'm looking forward in starting talking about the new programming block that begins in August. It's already July, right? And then going in details about that and really kind of our mission, value, and then our vision statement as well. Guys, we'll see you on the flip side.